What's going on, guys? Welcome back to BlackTideTV. Today I have something very special for you guys. I've got something that you're probably going to be interested in. I have finally got hero gear on every single specialist in Black Ops 3. It took a long time. There was a couple that were really hard that just made me rage quit and literally throw my controller across the room a couple times. And I've finally done it. I'm so happy, and I want to share with you guys what all the specialists look like in this game. I'm going to show you each of the specialists themselves, all of the hero gear, and all of the final gear, the gear that's right before hero gear, in case you haven't unlocked that one yet either. So the first gear that you have to unlock is actually the final gear is actually going to take you double kills. It's going to be like 3 double kills with your weapon and 2 double kills with your ability. Once you have that done on every single specialist and you have the final gear on every single specialist, you're going to unlock the hero gear challenges. So to get the hero gear challenges done, you're going to have to get 6 kills in one game with the weapon 6 times and 4 kills in one game with the ability 4 times. So that's going to be like, that's 10 games for each specialist, and that's if you do it on the first try with each one. And let me tell you that you're not going to be able to do it on the first try with some of them. Like, for example, I'll tell you the ones that I had a really big problem with. Vision Pulse was really hard just because that's just a really glitchy ability. Even though you've actually pulse and everybody turns red, you have to shoot the guys like the exact time that the pulse hits them. If you use the pulse and they're still red, they'll be red for like a couple seconds. If you shoot them when they're still red, it just won't count for a kill for some reason, and it'll just screw you over like that. And that one takes a long time to charge. Glitch was really hard. I had a really tough time with Glitch. Other than that, it was just the Hive and the Rejack that were hard. Everything else was pretty easy. Now, without further ado, let's get into these hero outfits, and you guys can actually see these well, probably the first time. If you just follow my content, of course you're probably following other people as well, and a lot of people do have hero gear out. A lot of people have dark matter camo. This would be the reason that I don't have dark matter camo yet. It's because I've been just working on these specialists more than anything. So let's look at these specialists and see what we have today. So this is the Ruin. We're going to zoom in on his head because I think the head gear looks awesome on the Ruin. It's completely like, it's flat, it's menacing, it's like just awesome. I love the eyes on this guy. It looks just like the Gladiator, except obviously it's gold. Now that would be the actual hero gear, and I think this is one of my favorite hero gears to use. And the body, of course, looks really awesome as well. There's a lot of gold on this one. Some of them they don't have as much gold. Now let's take a look at the Outrider. So the Outrider is one of those ones that doesn't have as much gold. The Outrider is kind of like a stealthier character. You probably want it to be more dark. I did not like the Outrider. I had a really tough time with using the Outrider, and I'm glad that I'm done this one. I'm probably never going to use an Outrider ability ever again. Zoom in on the head. The headgear isn't really, it's not shiny gold like the Ruin. It's kind of like matte gold or something like that. It's not very nice looking. I mean, if you're into this kind of hero gear, then yes, it could be nice, but I like the more shiny, like, look at me, I'm awesome, I got this done kind of hero gear. The Prophet is just like is more like the Outrider, whereas like his front is mostly black. It's not a lot of gold, but his back is completely covered in gold. That's where all of his high-tech stuff is. You can see that his arms are all gold as well. The head is kind of lackluster on the head. I don't really like this head. I like the cyberpunk style of head better than this head, but this head looks pretty cool as well. So that's it for Baldy. I'm probably never going to use another Baldy ability either, except the Tempest was like the best kill streak I ever got was with the Tempest. I really like the battery. I like how it says boom on the grenades there on the front. Looks really cool. It's not a shiny gold again, but it is cool looking. I think this is one of the nicest ones. I think it's just more stylized. It's kind of harder to see in game, but it just looks really cool when you're up close looking at it in the specialist menu. Next one, we have Seraph. Seraph the Annihilator was actually kind of tricky. I was never very good at the Annihilator, so that's probably why it took me so long to get this one done. But I think the Seraph looks pretty cool. You can see the golden gun holster down there. The golden machete looks really, really cool. But again, it's mostly like a black with a tint of gold. It's not like the Ruin. Like the Ruin is the nicest one we've seen because his whole body, like he's wearing body armor that's all gold, whereas everybody else is kind of just wearing a regular suit, and it's just like the edges of them that ends up being gold. Like it's just like the trim. It's a gold trim on all these characters. It's not really, look at me, I'm completely covered in gold. Now, the Nomad is probably like the worst hero gear. It doesn't even look like hero gear. Like if you actually compare the color with the Seraph, like the Seraph is like a rich gold color. When you get into the Nomad, it's like a dull gold. Like it doesn't shine very much. It must be because the Nomad is another one of those stealthy characters. He's like the insurgent kind of guy. He wants to go in and stay stealthy. He's mostly black, and he only has like a little bit of flare of gold on him, and it's not even the same color of gold. It's like a lackluster gold. It's really nothing special. I don't think it's very nice at all. And the head, of course, all he has is that little golden eyepiece. The rest is just him with his man bun, and it's just, I don't think it's anything special. The Reaper, obviously he's made out of metal, he's made out of gold, but again, it's mostly black. Like you can see that he's got all these kind of skulls and stuff on his legs there, and he's mostly black still. Like he looks like he's wearing Kevlar or something, like on his pelvis area right there. It's like all kind of like, it looks like it's like a bulletproof vest or something. Like why does a robot need a bulletproof vest? I'm not sure, but again, he's not that shiny of gold. He looks more like the Nomad's kind of gold, except for the head. The head is more standard hero gear gold, but the body really does look like the Nomad kind of gold, and it's not really pronounced. It's not like a lot of the other ones where you can actually see the gold on him. It's kind of like hidden a little bit. If I saw this guy in game, I probably wouldn't even recognize the hero gear. I would just see him and I'd be like, oh, he's just running like a regular Reaper. But it is actually hero gear, and it's just hard to see. Next, we have the Spectre. The Spectre is probably one of the cooler looking ones again. The Spectre is one of my favorite heroes in the game, so obviously I'm going to be using the Spectre a lot in videos to come. But he actually shows off his gold. Considering the Spectre is like the assassin and he should be the stealthiest one of them all, he's showing off his gold. He's got that dark, rich gold again, and on his visor, he's got like the shiny gold over his visor. He's got like the gold fabric on his head. It looks really, really cool. I think the Spectre is one of the nicest ones. I'm glad it didn't actually end up being a chameleon style helmet, and that actually turned out to be the driver style helmet. That's really nice. The final one is Firebreak, who again doesn't really show off his gold. He looks a lot like the Outrider, where it's kind of like lackluster again. It's just like really dark kind of gold. You can't really see it a lot. So obviously, from all of this, you can glean that the hero gear really isn't that amazing. Like you would think that the hero gear, when you hear about it, it's going to be like, oh my god, it's going to be like pure gold. It's going to be a big golden man running around, straight out of El Dorado. I'm covered in gold. I'm running around. But really, the Ruin is the only one that really shows off like that. Now, luckily enough for me, I am using the Ruin a lot lately. I'm trying to get my quad feeds. I only need 2 quad feeds, and then I have Killer Mastery. So I'm trying to do quad feeds, and the gravity spikes are probably the best bet to get your quad feeds on Ground War. And I'm running around with this guy a lot, so I'm really showing off that I have that hero gear. So a lot of these guys, they really just don't show off the hero gear that well. Like a lot of them are just kind of black, and the gold is kind of less than showy on these guys. So really, the hero gear isn't that amazing. I mean, it is cool compared to some of the other things that you can get, like Trapper. Like who cares compared to like gold? But gold is pretty nice, like the hero gear, but it's not super special. I wouldn't go out of my way now, knowing what it all looks like. I wouldn't really, really go out of my way if I was just a casual gamer. If I was one of you guys, if I was like, I did this all just for making this video. I did all this. Of course, I do all the challenges and stuff in Call of Duty, and I talk about all this kind of stuff on my videos. So basically, I did this all to make this video and just to talk about it, to finally see what they all look like, and to really just talk about it with you guys. But knowing what I know now, like what they look like, being a casual gamer, I would not go for this. I wouldn't go out of my way to try and get 6 kills in a single game or 4 kills in a single game, whatever, whatever, whatever. If you guys are interested, I can change everything to my regular hero, like the final gear. The final gear really isn't that special either. So that's the final gear for the Ruin. The final gear for the Outrider is actually nice. I like the Hornet gear. If only the gold gear looked like that as well. Final gear for the Prophet looks actually really cool. I like the dark blue, like the shiny dark blue on the Cyberpunk helmet. I don't care for the helmet on the Victory. I think it looks stupid. It looks like the Triumph helmet from Advanced Warfare. It just looks dumb. We have the Dragon for Seraph. I don't like the helmet at all, how it covers up her face, and then she has the ponytail sticking out the back. It looks kind of weird. I do like the suit, though. What do we have here? The Chupacabra. I kind of wish the hero gear was more like this, where it kind of covers his head. He could have like a gold hat or something. It would have looked really, really cool, but they went with the eyepiece instead. Junkyard, I actually do like. I like the shape of the head. I like the graffiti all over the body. This is one of my favorite outfits in the game. I think it's really, really cool. Chameleon is pretty nice. I don't like the helmet though. It's just that helmet is just not one for me. I like the driver helmet, like the smaller, more conformed helmet, more than that. That looks like a big, large head. Like that looks like it would stick out, and you get shot in the head easier or something. And finally, the Firebreak helmet. He looks like a caterpillar or something. When I see that helmet, all I can think of is like some kind of caterpillar. That's what he looks like. I do like the body armor though, like that gold plated or like that orangey kind of plated stuff. It looks a lot nicer than this kind of utility belt kind of deal. So those are all of your hero gear and your final gear for every single specialist in the game. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and enter my 300 subscriber giveaway, which still hasn't gone yet. It's going until February, so make sure you're signed in. Make sure you're signed up for that so that you can have a chance of winning. That's available to anyone in Canada or the United States. And we're giving away some CJ grips. We're giving away some signed merchandise, and that's going to be lots of fun. I hope you enjoyed this video once more, guys. And make sure you check out some of my other stuff where we've done a video on how to actually unlock your hero gear faster, and I highly recommend that one if you're interested in getting this hero gear done. And that's about it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys on the next one.